What's going on, and welcome into your casual gaming news conversation for this week. I am Nick. That is Connor. This is your weekly gaming news podcast from Co-op 64. Connor, how we doing, bro?
Doing good. The weekend, excited to play more Ghost, finish that game out for the review in a couple days. Excited to get my thoughts out there into the world. But yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Today was the day that broke the camel's back, or the straw that broke the camel's back when it came to sleep. I, for 2 weeks, have been pushing my body to not sleep at all. Like just 5 hours, best I'm getting, sort of deal. Like I've been up till 3-ish in the mornings and waking up around 7:45 to 8:15 on a majority of these mornings. It's just been tough. And I got on the Discord call today, and Connor goes, "Damn, you look awful." And I was like, "Thanks, man. I just took a nap, but my body it did the same thing it did last Friday, which I mean I've just been staying up late and playing games for review and stuff like that." And so Brady came over yesterday and said that when he was dropping off a trash can, he goes and peers in. He's like, "Damn, you look like shit." And then now apparently I look like shit still. But that that might not have just been the sleep thing. Maybe I just look shitty. Okay, but in all honesty, I'm doing pretty well. Life is pretty good right now. Keeper review is out right now. That's an exciting thing that's out there. We got the Red Dead 2 subathon coming up next week. I'm very excited about that. There's a lot of good in the universe. I said Red Dead 2 in the background right now is Red Dead 2, so that feels good always when we get that synergy happening. And I think that this is going to be a good show. The only thing that is holding me back right now, Connor, only thing that is tying me up and making me a little bit sad in my life is not playing Pokemon Legends where the worst part is Connor knows, and he's been in my apartment semi recently, I believe, that my apartment is kind of a dumpster fire right now. The kitchen table, there's a bunch of costumes on it. Our Halloween costumes are on it. Cowboy hats are on it. Like, there's a bunch of just stuff on that table. But also in the dead center of that table is Pokemon Legends And I walk past it every, like, time I use the restroom. Every time I go and need to grab something from a room. Anytime. And I just look at it and I go, can't play that. Can't be doing that right now. There's other games you got to play. But I talked to a buddy today who was booted up, played it day one, played for like 5 hours. Well, they should have been doing some work potentially, but instead they were playing some Pokemon and had a great time with it. It seems like it's a good one, and the Metacritic is in the 80s and everything, so that's exciting. I really want to play this game.
I'm shocked that people are shocked that this game is good.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people be like, "Oh, this game is actually better than I thought it was going to be." It's like the last Legends game had like an 85 or an 86 at launch on Metacritic,
yeah,
and I enjoyed that game quite a bit.
yeah.
So I expected something kind of similar here. There seems like they're going in a different direction though with the battle system and the structure. So it's not like kind of just building off of the previous Legends game. But yeah, I'm in a similar situation as you are. I'm walking in the other room, seeing Laura play it 24/7 since it launched. There's like platforming challenges in this game, I guess. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
crazy.
it seems like they're doing some different things in this Pokemon. So yeah, mine's still in the wrap in the living room on the kitchen table. So I have not checked it out either, and I'm itching to play it. But I'm also just really in love with Ghost of Yotei. Like, dude,
I'm so
everything.
curious, man, where you and Brady line up on this review. I'm nervous, man. I think that there's chances that Brady might toss out masterpiece scores for this. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know, but I'm just excited to be part of the review, you know?
Yeah, it's just good to be in a space where it's a double edged sword. Where when I'm playing it, I'm just having the time of my life, and I'm stressed about the PlayStation ending because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I just don't want it to end. I'm just having so much fun. And then when I'm not playing it, I'm like, all I can think about is getting back to playing more Ghost of Yotei. Is it a perfect video game? No, but like it's just very warm.
Yeah.
It's very digestible, and I'm really loving it. So
I'm excited for you to finish it out and get your thoughts and Brady's thoughts on Sunday's podcast. That's gonna be a great time. We were texted today on how we're handling the next couple weeks of content because of for those who don't know, we shoot often on the weekends. The guys have day jobs, and so when we're shooting podcasts, we always try to shoot on weekend days. And we don't have a weekend next weekend, and they're in their busy season, and so it's a lot of moving and shaking. But it's gonna be some fun ass podcast shoots. Also, just a heads up, you will be getting this show over on Patreon a day early next week. That just a little heads up there, or extremely early on Friday morning. One of the two, which is very exciting. But it will be shot on Thursday because we're starting up that subathon. I'll let you know when. As we get into housekeeping, everyone, you can go and get the show 3 days early. You can get the casual gaming conversation 3 days early. You can get a bonus episode of the casual gaming conversation each and every week. Let's just say it. All right, we got a Ghost of Yote spoiler cast coming up on the bonus pod. We got a Hades 2 spoiler cast coming up. Me and Rogan Plays Games. This amazing TikTok creator. We will be breaking down Hades 2. He's putting a bunch of time into it. I've already rolled credits. It's still on my mind. I really just want to talk about this game with just anyone, basically. So I'm very excited to go and hop in with him and have that conversation. And then we have a bunch of an unbelievable backlog at this point. There's over 40 plus hours of content for the for the price of less than a cup of pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks. You can get over 40 plus hours of content in that backlog. So maybe go and check it out. Thank you for everyone's support over there this month. It's been very, very generous and very, very kind. At the next highest tier, you can get Recollect and Retro. We're posting an episode tomorrow. It's quite good. And then you can get the Co-op 64 podcast and bonus exclusive TikToks over there at the next highest tier. At the highest tier, at that dearly beloved tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do, and a chance to be the fourth topic on the Co-op 64 podcast as you write in your topic. Twitch streams. This is where we're shaking and baking a little bit. First and foremost, I'm continue on Final Fantasy X for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Connor is rocking Silent Hill 2 still. Are we getting close on that one? Or
I
we're
think there's a chance we beat it next week. There's a
interesting?
chance based off of where I am in the walkthrough that I'm like just kind of keeping pace with to see how far into the game I am. I made like great progress last stream. Like I was motoring. So maybe, but I wouldn't say for sure. I'll probably be playing it for 2 more weeks, I would say.
And then on Monday, we are continuing Lies of P. The big detour here is the Red Dead Redemption 2 subathon. So strap in as we drop these hot details for how this whole thing is going to shake out. First and foremost, Friday, October 24th at, I'm planning, 9 a.m. We're going to start this thing. 3 hours on the clock. Every single sub adds 5 minutes to the timer. We here at Co-op 64 want to make this very extremely clear off the rip, as always with subathons. We really just want to do something cool. And we want to try to get through the game. We were going to try our best by doing this to get through the game. And that means that subs are 5 minutes per. Every sub adds 5 minutes to the timer. And if you go over to on Patreon and you kick us $5 there, you sign up for the first time, maybe you upgrade your pledge, whatever it is, and you let us know, hey, signed up. We can see most of the things. We can see the upgrades and tiers. The things that get a little bit weird is if you were to like customize your pledge to go from 25 to 50 or something like that, or 10 to 15 even. If you go and kick us any money over on Patreon for the same amount a sub would be, it's double time. So if you were to go and sign up on Patreon, $5 tier, that adds 10 minutes to the timer. If you go over to Dearly Beloved, that's 50 minutes. That's nearly an hour of time. So just a heads up there, that's how the sub structure is going to work. We'll have fire sales throughout. We're really trying to make sure that we've done about 50-hour subathons in the past, and we've always been able to accomplish that 50-ish hours. This subathon is going to last longer than that if we're trying to beat the game. With that being said, to go and alleviate some of the stress on the audience and make sure that we really do get to that goal, which is rolling credits on Red Dead Redemption 2, we are also not going to be counting time lost as I'm asleep. So from, let's just say I've crashed at midnight and we'll get back going at 8 a.m., those 8 hours are not going to be going off the clock for this subathon. It's going to be just the time that I'm awake, playing, getting through this game. So thank you so much. I'll already toss out for this week, and we'll say it every single time on these podcasts going forward. But thank you so much for your generosity. That we've done subathons before. You guys always show up and show out. This one is one of the biggest ones that we could possibly think about. This is probably the last major game in my just like closet of shame when it comes to my video game knowledge, I think.
The Witcher
And
3.
The Witcher 3 it's there, but it's not Red Dead 2, I don't think. Do you think
I think
that's
it's very close. Yeah.
and get the comments on this one. Let me know what else is there. Is like Chrono Trigger actually up there? Is Witcher 3 actually up there? I brought up Dark Souls
I would say
1.
Chrono Trigger isn't, just because it's older, and there's a lot of
Okay.
people who are like more new gen who haven't played Chrono Trigger but have played something like Red Dead.
Okay. So yeah, just let me know what I need to get to because I'm trying my best out here. Anyways, yeah, and it's gonna be awesome. The excitement that has been in the streams recently has been really cool with people stopping in and asking questions about it, and we're very very thankful that there is that level of excitement for something like this.
You're going from heat to heat to heat on streams. You're playing all timers. You're
Yeah,
playing. You just finished The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You're playing Final Fantasy X, and those streams have been a blast. And then you're going into Red Dead Redemption 2. And then you're going to go back to Final Fantasy X
and
for your
then
regular
and
streams.
then after Lies of P finishes, it's Cyberpunk for me. So
Right.
we're cruising right now. No, it's been a lot of fun, and I truly just want like these streams are some of not just my favorite like things that we get to do here at Co-op 64. These are some of my favorite memories I have in my 20s. Like I love doing these things. They're so much fun. Connor and Brady do plan to show up interstitially throughout, but just a reminder, two things. One, they're front loading a shit ton of work to be able for this to even happen. So I want to make sure that they get the time to be away and hang out for the weekend and not go and double dip too much. But then also, like they got day jobs on Monday and Tuesday. We think that this thing's lasting until Tuesday or around Tuesday. That's my assumption. I think we roll credits on Tuesday. Depends on how long those play sessions are on each day. But I say 16 hours, and then I end up playing guitar for 4 of the hours, and then all of a sudden I'm eating for 2 of the hours. Then we played for 6 hours on a full day. We know how this thing goes. But no, in all actuality, it's gonna be a great time. I do plan on doing some side content. I want to roll credits on like 55-ish 60 hours. I don't want to get to the point where I'm rolling credits and I hate the game. I was talking to Matt about that today, where he rolled credits and he by the end of it was like, I kind of wish I rolled credits like 10 hours ago. Like I got a little bit stale by the time it was end. And then I think that that's a fair thing, knowing how I play games. Like if I was playing this game alone, I would most likely kind of sort of main path it,
Yeah.
but that's not what this game is about. So for you, the audience, I'm going to try to go and explore, get lost in the sauce. Maybe we take all of Sunday, Connor, just to explore, just to adventure, dude. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that
Yeah,
with being on this timetable. Man, what a special game! I played this back in college, and it took me about 60 hours, and I was just so invested. I was so immersed in this world, and I was having such a great time. I would really like to do a replay at some point. I restarted it, was flirting with the idea of going for the platinum, and then I kind of went over it and was like, oh, it's really tough to do. So I didn't end up doing that, and fell off of it pretty quick. But I would like to get back to it at some point and do a replay.
yeah.
I'm jealous.
Me sleeping on stream, the whole 9 yards. This is one of those where, yeah, my back is gonna be destroyed by the end of it. But we do it for y'all, and we do it for the good times because this is just the best stuff ever. I know we're going a little bit long on this, but I do think that the understand the structure of something like this is very important, especially for all the new stuff that we're doing for this subathon. Discord, join up over on Discord. We got a fun community night happening this Sunday, which is just insane to think about. We got another fun one of those, Fortnite. We're going to be doing some just community shenanigans, playing some custom games. I'm going to let like the people that are really invested in customs like go and call the shots, but I assume that we're just going to basically be dropping into our own island and just taking people out. Franz Ferdinand style. Like it's going to be awesome. I don't know if Connor and Brady are joining me on this. I know that this is a me thing, like I'm the host of this on our calendar. It's under my name, but like maybe the boys roll up, like I don't know. And then I am forcing them to watch football with me that day, so that's fun too. But then that's gonna be happening in Discord. Alongside the Discord, you can talk about the latest and greatest in gaming. There's so many games that are out right now, like Ghost, like Pokemon, like Keeper. I want to hear people's thoughts about Keeper. I haven't been able to sit down and like listen to somebody's podcast on Keeper yet today, which is pretty nuts. Normally, I'd be all in on stuff like that. Is that like an
Getting
80?
Yeah, it's getting better reviews than I thought it would based off of your experience. And then I saw Jacob's review was the second thing I saw, and he didn't love it either.
Yeah.
And then I saw like IGN gave it a 9, and a lot of publications gave it a 9. And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit more mixed than I thought it was going to be.
Connor, here's your this is I'm not going to tally it, but your review roundup for Keeper sitting at a 78 on Metacritic now. 78. So
Interesting.
it has lowered. It was at like an 82 earlier today. That is with 40 reviews. Tech Radar 8 out of 10. Keepers a professionally creative game out of Xbox-owned studio Double Fine Productions, where you take control of a sentient lighthouse to journey to the top of the mountain with the company of a bird friend. Simple puzzles and tight gameplay. Yeah, like that's sort of the sentiment that I feel like is across the board. It just depends on how far you want to take the thing that is so clearly good in this game compared to the thing that is so lesser than the thing that is clearly good.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where people
Do
land
you
on this.
like the fact that the puzzles are simple? Like,
Yeah,
you can just kinda get through them. It sounds like that's a positive for them, but it
yeah,
was such a negative for you.
and like it's a negative because this is the favorite versus good thing. I gave it a 7.5. I adore this game. Like I think that this game is like so delightful to have in the arsenal of gaming this year. But I'm curious to see where just I need to hear more people talk about it. But I assume that the conversation is going to be the same number, or sorry, the same type of review with a different number for each person, and like what
Right.
worked for them versus what didn't, and that's very interesting and fascinating stuff right there. But yeah, check out our review. Bonus pod is out for everyone. But yeah, join in the Discord, talk about video games. It's very, very exciting to hop in right now. Linked in the description for the Discord. Merch, co-op64store.com. Review us over on Apple Podcasts and hop into the comment section down below to go and see what we messed up as we mess it up, and so we can set the record straight for the next episode. Connor, are you ready to hop in?
Let's do it.
Headline: Sucker Punch will remain a single project studio after Ghost of Yote. Boss suggests. This is Andy Robson at VGC. Quote: Speaking to VGC in a broad Ghost of Yote retrospective interview, Sucker Punch co-founder and studio head Brian Fleming discussed the developer's determination to stay relatively small in AAA terms and how it will decide its next project after multiplayer add-on Ghost of Yote Legends later releases next year. Quote: The truth is that whatever we do next, whether it's continuing Ghost or going back to Sly, the decision is really more limited by, again, our cherishing of focus and time to iterate, which means that we really can only do one thing at a time, end quote, he said. Quote: If we were good at juggling 4 projects, yeah, we'd have a remaster and let's go do one of those and do some fan requests. That would be really popular. But we only get to do one thing. End quote. Connor, they're not seemingly doing what Naughty Dog's doing to making multiple projects. They're not doing what Insomniac seemingly has been doing with multiple projects in this generation. It looks like we're getting one Sucker Punch title a generation, maybe 2 if you have one at the very start and at the very end. I do like this direction from this team.
Generally speaking, yeah, I think this is a good idea. I mean, I want more games across the board, but if you want to focus on making one really high quality, polished game, this is a great way to do it. We've seen other studios kind of do the same thing where they had multiple projects. You had Naughty Dog, you mentioned, making Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us, and then they were like, okay, we're all going to fold in together and we're just going to make Uncharted 4 and refocus. Rockstar, similar situation. You have a bunch of different studios, and they all took all of them. We're like, we're making one video game at a time. GTA, Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's focus on making the best game we possibly can. And it seems like that's the goal here for Sucker Punch. I think it's funny that they call out Sly specifically here. I know that a lot of people just even at the mention of Sly are like, oh my goodness, maybe? No? Are we getting another one? No, you're probably not getting another Sly Cooper game. It seems like Ghost of Yote is selling pretty well. 2 million copies in about a week or so is what the story was. Kind of tracking similarly to Ghost of Tsushima, which is good news. I think it's really important to support single player games like this in a sea of studios going after the AAA or sorry the multiplayer live service format. It's good to support these kind of games if you're somebody like me and enjoys this kind of structure. So I hope that that they are able to focus up and keep on doing what they've done across Sly, Infamous, and Ghost. Um, I would like to see them do one more Ghost game personally.
Okay.
I think that that makes the most sense for them. We've seen it throughout their history. They make 3 games per IP. We got 3 Sly Cooper games, and then we got a 4th one from Sanzaru, I believe. And obviously, the 4th one isn't considered the best of the bunch. There are Sly 4 Truthers. Shout out to Big Mac. But they make the 3 Sly games, then they go on to Infamous, and you get Infamous 1, 2, Second Son. And here we have Ghost of Tsushima and Yote, and of course those games aren't connected as far as I know. I'm sure there's some sort of call out, but I haven't beaten Yote, so like, it could, I guess, technically, like the ghost of Jin Sakai could come back at the end or something.
He comes in with a chair. WWE goes in.
Yeah,
We have Atsu just like holding up the championship at the end, and then all of a sudden,
yeah.
glass shatters. One person runs down the freaking alleyway, and it's Jin. Oh,
So
jeez.
it's set like hundreds of years apart. So I would imagine they do something similar if they were to go and make another Ghost game. You make one more. I like this format. They're not changing too much up with it from Tsushima to Yote, and I think a lot of people are kind of frustrated with that. But personally, I don't mind. I've taken one of these games, these really high quality AAA Ubisoft formula games once every 5-6 years. I'm okay with, and then go make something completely different after that. Go make the next Ghost, and what I mean by that is go make the next major IP for PlayStation. I think that Sucker Punch has become one of the most important studios in their stable of studios. So, yeah, go make the next big thing after this, and put your whole team on it, and put your whole effort into it.
We got it real quick. I love that the quote is quote continuing Ghost or going back to Sly, end quote. And it's like Infamous fans are punching air right
Yeah.
now, dude. They're like, what the hell, man? You couldn't have said going back to Sly or Infamous just to like give us a little bit of hope. Like,
And
come on.
as people who are tuned in to MinMax, they just said this individual was the one
Yeah,
who
I think
did
so.
the interview. That the team doesn't have any interest in Sly, really. Like
Yeah.
10%. He said 10% of the team would be excited to go make another Sly game. So that's probably not going to happen. So
Yeah.
it's just funny that he even calls it out here.
Well, I think that he wants to just discuss the lineage of the brand,
Right.
obviously. My thoughts on this one are pretty simple. It goes back to a hot take that I had a couple months ago. Appreciate the AAA bangers. We obviously want to champion these amazing indie studios for kicking ass, and what Expedition and Hollow Knight were able to pull off this year with the team sizes and the pricings of those games, and like give them the flowers that they well gosh darn deserve. But it's awesome to see the thing that I look forward to is sequels, and it is these hype moments, and it's these AAA bangers. And guess what? This is a AAA banger, and they delivered. And honestly, I think by all accounts, like even though some people are a little bit frustrated that it's so similar to Tsushima, it's like how nice is it that we get a guaranteed in October this year? And I said this as the hot take, but I'm bringing it back. It's the guarantee aspect of this. We got a guaranteed like 80 plus on Metacritic. That's one of the most beautiful and vibrant open world experiences you can have this year and on the PlayStation 5, just in general. It fills out their lineup so gosh darn well that I'm just all about it. Like I love the fact that like I'm still like crazily wanting almost more than anything to just like play Ghost. Like I just want to go and play more of this. Obviously, my responsibilities are elsewhere with channels duties and stuff like that. But I want to go and play more of this game. Like we're shooting content this past Sunday, and like I'm like, boys, shut the hell up. We got to shoot content, and they're just in the other room talking about this freaking video game, thick as thieves, laughing and cheering and getting all excited. I'm like, you guys suck, okay? Because I want to be part of it. But like in all earnesty, like this is awesome. Like they're doing all the right stuff. This game is awesome, and it's exciting that they're not going to split on to 2 different studios. The fact is, I don't ever expect Sucker Punch to go and make live service types of games or a multiplayer game, or even to some level, I don't really expect a shooter from them. I expect them to make creative games in open worlds at this point. That's what they did with Infamous to some level. That's what we got here. Like they know how to go and fully realize a world. I don't want an Infamous game from them. I know that somebody in the comments is already typing something nasty to me, being like, "Why? I love Infamous. Why don't you want one?" It's like I like the next thing. I didn't love Infamous one of what I played of that, and like slides are awesome, but they're very PS2 coded. If you want to go and play a cool PS2 type of game, go and play like South of Midnight from earlier this year, or Keeper or something like that. Like there are those fixes elsewhere. I would like this studio being the AAA banger studio. Like we're gonna get one, maybe two a generation. They're going to deliver the goods. It's so money in the bank at this point. And yeah, 2 million sold. This is going to be a nice little cash cow for them. Apparently it's made the like most money for first party since Spider-Man, which is expected because Spider-Man was obviously insanely large. And then last year we didn't have a ton of major AAA games. It was Astro and this year it's been Death Stranding and Helldivers is an interesting one on whether that's first party. I don't know if that's included in those numbers, but like it's so fascinating to go and see the excitement that is around Ghost right now. Like I'm stoked to go and play more of it. There's a fever in the air. I think that there's a chance that it gets nominated for GOTY still. It's a dark horse nomination. It feels like at this point because of the hype that's surrounding other half dozen to 10 games. But like we're talking about a Sony AAA banger still. And so I think that there's a chance that it goes and steps up and secures one of those top 6 spots on the year. And that's really exciting. Like, I love everything that's happening for this team right now.
Yeah. And I think you get another influx of players with the Ghost of Yotei Legends DLC that they're putting out, the multiplayer expansion. You can imagine there's situations where people who play the single player and have friends who haven't gotten into the game at all and are like, you have to have Yotei to play Legends,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
So, like, I imagine there's people who are like, you might not be a single player guy, but you should pick up Ghost so we can play this together, and then you get some new audience there. There was a story today where they were asked about DLC. We got the Iki Island DLC for Ghost of Tsushima. I would imagine they do the same thing here. I would like that. I didn't play the Iki Island DLC. Kind of want to go back and do that now. But I would be down for more content in this world, running around as Atsu. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited about in the Ghost franchise at the moment. I would like to get a third game at some point, but even if they don't, if they go on to the next thing, I'm okay with it.
I do think that this is the end of Ghost for quite some time. I do. And it comes from the fact that like I think that they really don't want to go and like run this franchise dry in a way. If they have another story that makes sense, and like you can tell a million samurai stories, but at the end of the day, they're just character stories. Go and write rich themes around this type of time period, and you get cool swords. It's like how is this not a winner, right? But like I think that they don't want to go and push their chips one last time and test their luck with this when they could go and do the next thing. And I think everyone would be excited and down for them to do the next thing at this point.
I think it's important to note that like you said, it's the story that is really important if you're going to do a sequel. I think it's really hard to iterate on the open world formula. We saw that with Spider-Man. It felt a little bit samey. You add in the wingsuit to get around the city, and that's cool and new and interesting, but like it still felt like a letdown because the story wasn't this upgrade or really kind of even meeting the standard that the first game set. I think that the story here for Yotei is great. And kind of, I don't know if it's better than Tsushima. At least I don't know yet. I'm not done with the game, but it's at least on par with it.
Yeah.
So if you have another interesting story to tell in this universe, then go off and I think you do a third game. If you don't and you're just like kind of iterating on the open world formula a little bit, I don't think that's enough to warrant going and making that third entry.
Yeah. I think that I would want them to do more open world games. I just don't think, I think that that's what they're known for at this point. Writing rich stories with open world that's not necessarily done elsewhere in their the Sony profile outside of Insomniac, but even Insomniac, like Spider-Man's a little bit different in my mind of like the type of storytelling that you're doing, where you have like you have a superhero, you have someone that is comic booky, like that, and writing a comic book character obviously should relate to actual humanity and everything, but like I think it's a very different type of story than what we got with the themes that were presented in Tsushima and Yotei. And so it's like I think that open world design, Ubisoft type of checkboxy action, but also done to a really high standard, like the highest level standard that you can go and make one of these games.
They've perfected that formula.
Yeah.
That's kind of going to be the thesis of my review is they like they've taken the Ubisoft formula. I know a lot of people are tired of it. For me, who doesn't play a ton of these type of games, getting one of these every once in a while and getting the best possible version of that formula is really impressive. It's a lot of people have been chasing that dragon for a while, like trying to make this kind of game and make it to this high of a degree. I think is really tough. And we only get it from Ghost.
It's the Gran Turismo of the Ubisoft open world game. There we go.
Yeah.
That's going to be how Connor kicks off his review on Sunday. It's going to be great. But yeah, no, I think that there is a level of excitement for the franchise as of right now. If they want, the nice part is no matter what they do, we're in on it. Like it's so easy to be a Sucker Punch fan when it comes
They
to
don't
how
make
good these.
bad video games.
Yeah,
Even when
like
they make a lesser one, which I guess you would point to
Second Son.
Second Son as the worst of the bunch, and I love that game. It's just not a lot of people talk about it that much. Like, I would just assume their next game is going to be great. It's kind of like Housemark at this point,
Yeah,
that like they just don't miss.
which is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Headline: Quantic Dream's first multiplayer game is Spellcasters Chronicles, a 3v3 strategy action game. This is Chris Golian over at VGC. Quote, Spellcaster Chronicles is described as a, quote, team-based 3v3 strategy and action game, end quote, which has a fantasy setting. Players take control of spellcasters who are, quote, archetype-driven mages, end quote, with their own identities, roles, and signature abilities, including summoning creatures and casting spells. Players are able to fly around the arena and command the battlefield. Quote, each match is played as a 3v3, fast-paced 25-minute showdown across mystical arenas of epic scale and verticality, where teams must capture altars to gain territory and destroy their opponent's lifestones to claim their victory. End quote. The game's description reads. The game has a deck building system where players can choose from a list of more than 50 spells and summons to apply to their character. They also have to choose one of the game's titans, which are large, powerful creatures who can affect the battle dramatically. Quantic Dream is best known for its single-player narrative adventures like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. So, a competitive multiplayer game is a sizable departure from the studio's usual output. End quote. Who's playing this?
Yeah.
Like who's dropping everything to hop into a Quantic Dream 3v3? Like 3v3. We're a channel with 3 members. And like I checked the trailer for this. I'm like, this doesn't look like something I need to drop what we're doing and get after.
Yeah. I saw a very brief bit of gameplay. I think the art style is kind of interesting here. Not what the studio is known for, so I think it definitely perks my ears up to be like, what the fuck? They're making a multiplayer game. We've seen studios do this in the past, though. I had to go in my Duffy to figure out the name of this game, but you have Ninja Theory, the studio behind Hellblade. They made a multiplayer game called Bleeding Edge back in the
Nice.
day. Do you remember this? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not very good. But I think that studios kind of make these kind of like silly multiplayer side projects to help fund the big game that they're making. We have Star Wars Eclipse coming up. I imagine they're still working on that. This might be a good way to get a little bit of cash in inflow to help fund the next project. Is this game going to get an audience? Probably not. I would assume no, but it really depends on the amount of investment they've put into this, if it's worth them even trying it, and see if they can't get something off of the ground to help fund their single player projects. I would assume no, but I don't really blame them for trying. You see this across the board here that like the the biggest way to make money in the industry right now is through multiplayer live service games, selling skins, getting people to spend $20 on on these Fortnite skins is just such a cash cow for these live service games that you imagine everybody kind of wants a piece of the pie. I don't like it. It's not my kind of game, but I don't really blame studios for at least looking into it and investing something in it. Just because if you hit, that's a lot of money and
Yeah.
and can be a huge cash cow for you. So I don't, like I said, I'm not interested in this, but I don't really blame them for at least trying.
I'm not interested, and I'm upset that they're trying. I just liked the idea that Quantic Dream was off up to the side, creating something that was so large scale, so cool with Star Wars Eclipse that it legitimately is like actually really interesting from a team like this, where it's like, okay, you have some level of pedigree. You've made games that certain people really attach themselves to, especially games like Heavy Rain and Detroit, where it's like, so some people love those games, like love those games, and so you go and say, all right, like we're all set, like we got we don't need to go and make the another version of those. We got this massive IP of Star Wars, and then we get this game on the side, and it's like I just wish that they were what we were talking about with Sucker Punch, going all in. Like they had their whole team folded in, working on this Star Wars game. And I understand, like you said, it could be a great cash cow. They could go and make some cash on the side. Also, a game like this, I don't know necessarily. It's a lot of art design, I assume, but I don't know when it comes to the gameplay mechanics on how in depth those mechanics are when it comes to like the amount of funding that went into a game like this. I have no idea. But I think that this is a side project. I think that this is just a little like, hey, we're doing this on and not in a full capacity level. But like, I wish that on the side of Star Wars Eclipse, they made another fun choice based game that was 4 hours and dude, like go and make something character driven in a cool area. Make a horror game. Make something that we couldn't even conceive. Like I don't know. Like I feel like there's other solutions. Oh, that you can go and lean in on your strength of what you already have done and get people excited. The sad part is like I'm not excited, and like if I'm not excited, somebody that likes multiplayer games, someone that likes like games with my buddies, who are you capturing with this? And like you said, it could be a major boon for them. Like they could go and have this they produce so much cash flow where they need to go and pay Disney and LucasArts for this giant licensing deal and go and be able to go and get Star Wars Eclipse across the finish line. Which when that game got announced, I think you and I already like had a shudder down our spine, being like, we're never seeing this thing. Like there's a chance we just never get that game.
They announced it very early. Um,
21 or 22, like the Game Awards 2021, 2022.
that
Oh,
sounds right.
dude, it's total non sequitur. Saw a TikTok literally today. Do you remember sitting and watching the 2020 Game Awards with me and or your place in Boston? Had a couple Coronas. We're never getting that Mass Effect game. The guy announced at the end of that thing.
That was
It's been
10. Holy
five
shit.
years. It's been 5 years since we've seen it.
If BioWare still exists right now, I think we get that
Yeah,
game.
it
But
probably eventually.
that's probably it, unless it's fantastic.
It just is funny that it's been 5 years since then. I feels like that's only been like 2 or 3 Game Awards ago at this point.
Yeah.
But somebody that like was like, it's 2020, and it's like, oh yeah, watch that at Connor's place. Anyways, we see this get announced at the Game Awards, and it's exciting for this Star Wars Eclipse game. I also like checked my pulse. I was like, oh shit, you're really excited about a Quantic Dream game? Like I didn't expect that necessarily. This seems cool. I wish that their arsenal of games was just getting boosted compared to having what I don't think is the best mark when you're coming to a game like Spellcaster Chronicles. Like I also just like look up. I've had to look up every single time that I've said the name of this game because it's so immensely forgettable that like, well, you couldn't just do Spellcasters. Like I dropped the
Yeah.
Chronicles. Like what are we doing here? Like it doesn't make sense to me. And that's upsetting, and I wish that it did. And I want to go and get excited about a game from Quantic Dream, but here we are, and I just don't give two shits.
Yeah. I feel like it's just kind of a moot point. They're still working on Star Wars Eclipse. If this was taking away from that, like drastically, I think I would be more upset about it. But I really don't believe it is. I think this is probably a small side team, while the other team is trucking along, making the big budget project. So
Headline: following the cancellation of its live service God of War, Sony's Bluepoint is hiring for a third-person action game. This is Chris Scully at VGC. Quote, in January, it was reported, then confirmed that Sony had canceled a live service game in development at Bluepoint, as well as one in development at Days Gone developer Ben Studio. It was subsequently reported that Bluepoint's canceled live service game was believed to have been based on the God of War series. Now, as spotted by Tech Forward Gamers, the studio is hiring again and appears to be sticking to a similar genre for its next project. An ad listing for a senior combat designer role says applicants are expected to have a, quote, solid understanding of combat systems and mechanics for third-person melee action experiences, end quote, as well as, quote, at least 5 years of professional experience in combat design, end quote, suggesting its next game will feature such gameplay, end quote. We're going to Yarnum, dude. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, dude.
Bloodborne.
All right, headline. What?
No,
It,
I don't think so, honestly.
really?
I mean,
Oh,
I don't think it's a guarantee by any means. So previously, as stated in this article, they were working on a new thing.
yeah.
Like they're in the God of War universe, but they're not making a remake, which has been what they've been known to do since for a very
The
long
dawn
time
of
now.
time, basically.
They did the Metal Gear Solid HD remasters. They
Yep.
did the Uncharted collection, remastering 1, 2, and 3. They did Shadow of the Colossus remake, and they did Demon's Souls, which I think you buy Bluepoints to do what they've been known to do and make remakes, make excellent remakes. And clearly that's not how they were being used. And you had speculated for a long time that they were going to be making something new,
Yeah.
a new IP. And I think that could still be the case here. I would not be shocked if we get a new IP from Bluepoint, but I would prefer it to be the Bloodborne remake.
Connor,
Personally.
we're seeing the Bloodborne remake this year. We're going to get a splash screen, Game Awards, and nothing's going to be safe. I'm kidding. No, that's a joke. That we're not getting that this year. That's too soon for a game to be canceled unless they're like pedaling to the metal this one. I don't think we're getting that. We're seeing that anytime soon. With that being said, possible. I think that it is the Bloodborne remake. And I think that it is solely due to the fact that at the end of the day, Sony does like money. They have this great relationship already with From. It is good enough where they were able to get Demon's Souls made by this team. And if I'm in PlayStation Studios higher up, if I'm kicking it with the squad that's up top, all right, I'm preaching to them. We need to get games out the door. We got to go and not be pumping in $100 million, $150, $200 million and not have these games get out the freaking door. And you want to know what game will for sure get across the finish line? A Bloodborne remake. Like 100%. New IP? Fuck no. There's no guarantee with a new IP, even though it's Bluepoint. They weren't able to get a God of War game out the door. And the Sony higher-ups are all about that. They want to go and bolster that major IP as much as humanly possible.
But that's not a God of War problem. That's a live service problem. They saw the failure of Concord, and they're like, "Fuck that!
Yeah,
we are not
100%.
going all in on this anymore."
100%. With that being said, though, they need to go and get a game out the door for this. You look at the arsenal of studios that is at their disposal. Where's Media Molecule? That's just a side point I want to talk about eventually. But like Bend, they dropped the ball this generation. Bluepoint, they dropped the ball this generation. Haven Studios, what's happening with Fair Games? But then you bring Bungie in, and you talk about what should have been a slam dunk of the next Bungie game has now been riddled with bad press. You need to get games out the door. And that's why they're so reliant on these sequels. And we're going to get Spider-Man 3, and we're getting, obviously, Wolverine there. We're going to get Marvel Tokon, which you bring Arc Systems in to go and partner up with Sony Studios, and you say, all right, like, it's a Marvel fighting game with the best fighting game creators in the world. Like, that's going to get out the door. We're going to make the money back on that one. That's pretty guaranteed in my mind. You go and make sure that either you are having baller-ass IP that is already known with your God of Wars and Horizons and Spider-Man or The Last of Us, or you have Neil Druckmann and Cory Barlog who have the keys to the kingdom to do whatever they want to do creatively because they deserve that for the pedigree that they have with their previous game titles. That's Sony Studios right now. And if I'm up there, I'm just at this point being like, you have you're struck out. You struck out. You're gone. You're out of the game to some level when it comes to these opportunities, these dart throws that you can have when it comes to these teams going and making mistakes. Can Bluepoint afford another failure? I don't think so. And I don't want that for those teams, obviously. I
think Bluepoint can. I don't think Ben can.
Yeah. And so, but you have Bluepoint, and but here's the thing. Sure, Bluepoint right now can potentially afford another failure. But if they have two failures back to back, guess what? You can't afford a third. Like, you need to
Yeah.
get this studio to create video games and make you money and keep them around, and let them make cool games. And so if I'm at the Bluepoint and I got like, oh, if I'm a dev at Bluepoint and they brought me in to go and create an action game, talk about job security. Like, I'd feel real good making a Bloodborne game, being like, yeah, like this isn't gonna get fucking canceled. It's gonna print PlayStation money. Like, also, this IP has never been more powerful than ever before because of the press that it has with From Software games just going and increasing in popularity over the past 10 years. Get this game
Here's an
out.
idea. Bloodborne 2.
Yeah.
They own the IP.
Yeah.
They clearly have kind of got the chops to make to at least to work in the FromSoft formula with Demon Souls. I imagine they can take what they learned from that and be like, okay, let's go make something in this genre and make our own.
Yeah. Guess what? It could be immensely successful. I know people are not going to love it not being signed off by Miyazaki, but that's why you just go and you hit that guy up and you say, bro, we will give you the fattest check possible just to say executive producer on this project.
Exactly.
We will
Yep,
give you
I was gonna say
so
that.
much money just for your names to be in this credit. Like shake who's ever the studio head over at Bluepoint's hand on a video and just say, this has my blessing, and then get off the stage and drive a Ferrari away.
Yeah.
Like they toss him
Or
the
like have
keys.
him write the story or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Have him involved in some capacity.
no,
That
here's the thing. I think that this would have already happened if you wanted to be involved with Bloodborne shit. So like, I think that they can take the money and run at this point and say, we're just gonna do it ourselves. But yeah, I think that they have to sort of batten down the hatches at Bluepoint. I think they need to do the same with well, not Haven, with where it's in here, Bend. Yeah, I think that Bend also, like, you give
make an
them
Uncharted game.
make it a short game. Like, just do, let the people that have rocked the industry a couple times in a row in a positive way, like killed it recently, let them go and take the swings because they don't really miss. But right now, when you're talking about live service things that like are you're on your back foot, the worst thing you can put out is something that you don't feel confident in. And so, yeah, I think that this is one of those you shrug your shoulders and just say, give us the Bloodborne IP. Let us take on the big job. Because also, it's just not making them money right now. Like they just own this thing that's not making them money. I think that people, when it comes to business, that makes not a lot of sense. They're waiting for the right time, obviously. As the great John Cena would say, the time is now. Like go and do it. Get
Right.
this game out in the next couple of years and let it kick off the PlayStation 6 generation. It's slam dunk. And then honestly, put it on PC. Like day one, that
Right.
thing over on PC, and it will sell 15 to 20 million day mother effing one, dude. Like, it's such a slam dunk. I think that that's what it, or where there's smoke, there's fire too. And I want to go down the other avenue of this. If they're just making their own thing and they're bringing in a combat designer to go and make cool combat, I believe in this team. Bluepoint has like the good graces of the fact that they are a really good game studio, and whatever they make, I'm down for. I would love to see a Bluepoint logo just any day now. We've been waiting to see this logo since the 2020 PlayStation reveal event back in June of 2020. Like, let Bluepoint go and create. Let them do something cool, please. Headline: Battlefield 6 has become the biggest launch in series history, selling 7 million in 3 days. This is Chris calling that BGC. Quote, according to the publisher, Battlefield 6 sold more than 7 million copies in its first 3 days, setting record highs for the series sales. The game saw more than 172 million matches played online over the 3-day weekend, accumulating over 15 million hours watched on streaming services. That's pretty cool. Quote, first and foremost, we want to thank our players, end quote. Battlefield's general manager, Byron Bede, said in a statement, quote, Battlefield 6 was built with our fans, end quote. I am so sad that I'm not playing more Battlefield. Shout out to the people on our Discord that had a great moment with me where I thought it was only like 10:45 and I just finished like playing like a different game session sort of deal. Like I was like, all right, like I'm ready to go. Let me hop in and play some Battlefield for an hour with the community. And then all of a sudden I checked my phone and it wasn't 10:45. I just misread it and it was 11:45 and I was like, oh dude, I can get a decent night's sleep tonight. Like I haven't had one. It was Wednesday night, I believe. I'm like, it's the first decent night's sleep I can get in like weeks. Come on, I'm doing that every day of the week. I folded laundry and then crashed by like 12:40. It was amazing. Where are you at with Battlefield 6, Con? Obviously, do these numbers shock you? Like, or do we want to talk about the fact that we have not been able to play enough of this game? Like, where are you at with Battlefield 6?
Yeah, I don't want to be redundant because I we predicted this before the launch that they just needed to really kind of put out a polished game, and the people were kind of fiending for a new Battlefield, and as long as it was well polished and didn't have a ton of bugs, it was going to do well. We didn't expect it to do this well, but I'm happy for the team, and I'm happy for the fans who've been waiting for a quality, grounded military shooter for a minute here. So yeah,
Dude,
it's
I,
exciting.
I had a great TikTok today, and it's exactly the TikTok that you see every single time a new Battlefield comes out, where it's just a medic going crazy, like medic highlights. Oh my gosh, dude! You see 30 people down in front of you, and a man just has a defibrillator and turn in the tide of battle. It's like, come on, this is what it's all about,
Yeah.
dude. Like, Battlefield's awesome. And I wish that we got to play a little bit more of it. I wish that we were able to really hop in and give this one a shot. But like we're just busy playing a bunch of other things. I know our community's loving it. Like it's cool to see that people are in the Discord calls. That's the other thing. Another plug for the Discord. Go join the Discord. People are playing Battlefield. If you want to hop in and find a crew, there's a Battlefield tag I believe in there too, for that people can go and link up and make matches together. Because that's also how Battlefield should be played. Is with people on a call. In my opinion, that's where you get those high level gameplay moments. But I'm really sad that I've not been able to play more of this. If this game came out in June or July, I would have put 25 hours into it easily. Yeah.
Do you think that the BR is going to move the needle at all, or is
Oh
it just going to kind of be a completely moot point? And do you think people are just over battle royales at this point?
no, people are not over battle royales. People are not over free to play battle royales, especially, which I believe this is going to be a free to play battle royale. I'd assume. I have no. Do you think that's in Battlefield 7? I don't know off the top of my head. But if they're able to go and increase this player base any way possible, battle royales are a pretty good way to do it. The way that you're going to be able to get game modes, or the way you're going to be able to get people in, are game modes and great word of mouth at this point. That is the next push for this. They also are going to just destroy holiday sales. Like, holy shit, those November and December numbers are going to be crazy. I'd assume with this game coming out on October 10th, if memory serves right, man, it's only been a week. Holy shit. The fact that it is around that timetable, I do think that this will go on sale for Black Friday, and if that just drops to $50, I think that they're going to be hammering 20 million players by the end of this year. You add a battle royale in there. I don't think that they're going to hit that 100 million mark that they want to go and hit. 30 to 40 million players? Yeah, I think they hit
Best
that.
selling best selling game of the year is Monster Hunter Wilds. Still, just kind
Okay.
of shocking. Do you think this passes it?
Yes.
Me too.
I think this will pass it, and I think Call of Duty BO7 will pass this.
The fact that college football didn't pass it is kind of wild to me.
College football was an event last year, Connor. That's why we reviewed it. That's why we put our best men on there to review it and also drink beers at like 7 a.m. and play cornhole together. Okay, it was no, like I'm not even trying to like joke around. Like it was a moment. Like people bought. I'm going to hang out with some people tonight. One of my good buddies, Sam, bought a PS5 for college football. Like he didn't own a PS5, saw college football was coming out, spent $570 and just played that until forever. And he was still playing that until the new one came out. Like, and I don't know if he bought the new one because it was just the moment of that game coming back around. Whereas the new one comes out and it's just another installation. Like we're not having this like big all-in moment that is so exciting for a game like that. All right. Thank you so much to our amazing members over on patreon.com/Cope64 that support the show. You truly make this show happen. Like Connor said, by the way, I just want to toss this in there. There will be more episodes of podcasts in at-home setups going forward with busy season and everything, there's so many moving parts. Literally, like the past 2 meetings we've had, it's just been like, holy shit, there's so many moving parts with our schedules in the next, like, even 2 weeks. You add a subathon in there that takes me out of the game for 5 days. A lot of stuff like this kind of just needs to happen. So thank you for sticking with us. If you have any like comments on this of like, hey, turn Connor's mic up a little bit or anything like that, when it comes to the at-home notes that y'all can be giving, that would be awesome in the comments. Also, all your feedback is immensely appreciated. But yeah, shout out to the people over at the highest tier over on Co-op 64 Patreon. They get their name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Co-op 64. Amazing members like JQP,
Cash R,
Pigeon Power,
Library Daniel,
Tyler,
Trace H,
Sir Shellis,
Raincoat,
Ooh Gracie,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer's Bud,
Rocketator,
Nofi,
The Dankest Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Daxy T,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Stracken 1978,
Das Goopy,
Diggleberg Rules,
Centru,
Hook'em Horns,
Gonash,
Neutral Sphere,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules,
Stooby Dooby,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Metal Nate,
The Patty Cake,
Bearpog,
Cowboy Jesus,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holden M,
Colin C,
Brack,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Can of Auto Games,
Badfellow,
Only One, Rufus,
Drifter X1, Skirt Skirt,
Goops,
JMAT B3,
Ali Benali,
Michael.
And Kingdom Hearts Sucks. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Casual Gaming News Conversation. We will see you in the next one. Peace out.